In progress. All right, once again, reminding you who are. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what happens now, anyway, for free sessions. Right. Who are the sponsors? Can all of you remember, kids? Come on, the sponsors of this event. Why this event is free to you? IITN. Yeah. Achievers. Perfect. Perfect. IIT and Achievers are the sponsors. Great. Great. Okay, so you all can remember. Fine. Good, kids. Very good. Fine. So let's proceed with the content. Right. Okay. Real houses is real estate agency. Wow, that's real, and real estate agency with a small office in Auckland. With a small office in Auckland. They have 2 server computers, one on each of the 2 rooms of the office. So 2 rooms are there. The computers are connected to the internet via ADSL connection with a static public IP address. Okay, it's a static one, static IP address. Okay, so it doesn't change. So always the IP address given to that ADSL connection is this. So usually now ADSL connections, what type of IP addresses are we getting, kids? Come on in the chat screen. Come on in the chat screen. Come on, mention. Usually now ADSL connections in our country, what type of IP addresses are we getting, kids? Come on, tell me. Is it static? Is it static IP addresses? By default? No. What is it then? What is the opposite of static? Dynamic IP addresses. Perfect. One of the server is assigned the IP address this thing. So that is inside the network. And the other one is assigned the IP address this thing. There are 2 different IP addresses mentioned. The local printer is attached to the first server. So like that is there attached to the first server. Real estate agents use the computers which are connected via 2 switches. Okay. Via 2 switches to the servers. All right. Okay. Fine. Let's see. How many computers can be connected in each room at maximum? Let's focus. Well, we have to focus about room means, are we talking about local area network or that internet connection? Come on, tell me. LAN or internet connection? Come on, everyone, this screen, please. Come on. It's paper discussion session. Come on, tell me. What is it? LAN, perfect. Local area network. Right. Now, going back to this, our marking scheme. Let's see if we can understand it. Otherwise, we'll come back here. So, our marking scheme. Let's see our marking scheme is correct or not. Okay. So it is starting from here, class of the IP address. Okay. Coming back to this. Sorry. Too much of tabs. Right. Coming back to this. So this local IP address, you can see it is starting off with 192.192.192. So 192 means what is the class, kids? Come on, tell me. 192 means what is the class, kids? Class C. So even I have given that in the answer, 192 means class C. You can see that. If you go to the answer, you can see that. Class of the IP address is C. The number of bits available for host is 8 bits. Usually in class C IP address, number of bits available for host is 8 bits. Agree with me or not? Agree with me or not? Agree. Perfect. And then number of bits taken for subnets is 1 bit. How is that? Number of bits remaining for the host ID, 7 bits. My goodness. Number of hosts per network, 2 to the power 7 minus 2. Number of computers per room at maximum is 126. You don't understand this. Focus. I'm about to write down this IP address and explain it to you very quickly. So focus like nothing. Are you all focusing, dear kids? Come on in the chat screen, please. Everyone focusing, kids? Perfect. So I'm going to write this IP address. Let's say 192.168.1.2 divide by, sorry, /25, sorry, /25 And the next IP address 192.168.1.200/25. All right. Focus like nothing. So in these two IP addresses, you can see up to this extent, everything is same, you know. But only the last bit has got changed. The last octet has got changed. Right, so in here, kids, how many bits are there usually in the first 3 octets? Come on. How many bits are there? 24 bits. Perfect. Here 24 bits. So usually we know that in a Class C IP address, by default, how many bits are there for the network ID? Come on. 24 bits are there for the network ID. Very good. By default. Default bits for network ID is equals to 24. Why? Because this is Class C. Can all of you understand this? Come on, yes or no? Come on, can all of you understand this? Come on, kids, yes or no? Perfect. And then so an IP address in this case, the version is IPv4. How many bits are there available in total in an IP address, kids? Come on, please tell me. In total in an IP address, how many bits are available? Come on, 32 bits. Very good. Very good. Very good. So when I say 32 bits, 32 minus 8, how many bits are defaultly available for the hosts? Tell me. Only 8 bits are available. But the thing is this. Here, with the slash notation, we are using CIDR notation here. CIDR notation, that is classless interdomain routing notation, right? Classless IP addresses. So since we are using the CIDR notation, in CIDR notation, I have said that I'm taking not 24 bits for the network ID. I'm saying that I'm taking 25 bits for the network ID. So when I say 25 bits, I'm going to take 25 bits for the network ID. How many bits I have taken extra here? Tell me. How many bits I have taken extra? Very good. Default number of bits for network ID is 24. But number of bits taken is, number of bits in network ID is 25. So number of extra bits is 25 minus 24, which is 1. I would straight away say 1 bit, right? Then using that extra bit, right? Number of subnets created that can be created. Number of subnets that can be created is 2 to the power this 1 bit. 2 to the power 1 is equals to what, kids? Come on. 2, which means 2 subnets are there in this network. Can all of you understand up to this section? Come on, yes or no? From the extra bits, we could find out the number of subnets. Yeah. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Actually, I don't need that for this answer because they're asking how many computers can be connected in each room at maximum. Then just tell me now, when I take number of like 25 bits are taken, number of bits remaining for hosts is going to be what, kids? Number of bits remaining for hosts is going to be, yes, 7 bits. Very good. So then I can say number of hosts per subnet, which means per room, is what? There are 2 rooms, so 2 rooms are the 2 subnets here. 2 to the power 7 minus 2. What is 2 to the power 7 minus 2, kids? Come on. Yeah. 126. Good. Why minus 2, kids? Why minus 2? One for network ID and the other one for what? Broadcast ID. Very good. One for network ID and the other one for broadcast ID. Perfect. So each subnet has network ID and broadcast ID, right, kids? Yeah. Yeah, right. Perfect. So can all of you understand the answer which I have given in the marking scheme? Yes or no, kids? Come on. Perfect. Perfect. Anyone who wants to write this down, can you please make it quick? I think these things are there in the marking scheme, right? Anyone who wants to write this down, can you please mention in the chat screen so that I can give you time? Okay, come on, go ahead, Rashid. Make it quick. Okay, Manuja, right. Make it quick. Let me know once you're done. Don't take much time. If you can take a snapshot of this, that's way better. Because these things are there in the PDF anyway. Let me know once you are done, Rashid and Manuja. Rashid, but how about you? Perfect. Proceeding with the rest. Design a network diagram to depict the logical arrangement of the network with the agency. Within the agency, your diagram should include IP addresses of networks and all the required devices to implement this network. Excuse me. So here, kids, we have to do one further calculation. That is, if these IP addresses are given, let's say that is 192.168. Now this thing 192.168.1 dot, and these were exactly these in these 8 bits only. This is getting broken into what? 2 networks, right? So here 8 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to write this in binary format. How many bits are taken for the subnets, kids? Come on, please tell me. How many bits are taken for the subnets, kids? Come on, tell me. How many bits are taken for the subnet? Come on, everyone on the chat screen. 1 bit, 1 bit. Only this bit is taken for the subnet. Very good. So which means this bit's value is 128, right? Because the others are these 64, 32, and then 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. That's how it goes. No? So these 128 bits. So what can happen to this is, this can become 0 and this can become 1. Those are the 2 subnets, right? When this is 0, all the other bits can become 0. When this is 0, all the other bits can become 1. These are the network IP address and the broadcast IP address of this subnet. And then when this is 1, all the others can be 0. And then when this is 1, all the others can be 1. That's how it goes, right? Fine. So this is binary. So if I'm going to say, okay, don't forget that these 128 place. Okay. 128 is 0 and all the others are 0. What is this value, kids? Come on, please tell me. Perfect. When 128 bit is 0, but all the others are 1, what is this value, kids? Perfect, kids. Awesome. Right. 127. Perfect. And then when this is 1 and all the others are 0, what is it, kids? Come on. 128. Perfect. And then when this is 1 and everybody else is also 1, 255. So this is the subnet. These are the subnets. This is subnetwork 1, S1, and this is subnetwork 2. And this is the network part, and this is the broadcast. Here, this is the network. This is the broadcast. That's how it goes. Can all of you understand the subnetting calculation which I have done in the marking scheme, kids? Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Going back to this question, looking at the marking scheme, see what is there in the diagram. You can see here, kids, we have the main router. Can you see that there is a main router? You don't need to draw it like this, in 3D. You can just draw a rectangle and mention router. That's it. Okay. And then what? So when denoting like that, should we write the first 3 octets? No. You don't need to have. You don't have to mention that binary notation. That is only for calculations, Nidhi. Okay. Soon after you get the correct IP address from the calculations, you can show that calculation in your paper, and that's it. And then you can just mention the IP address as it is. in the normal decimal format, dotted decimal notation. So we have internet, and you can see here for internet, there is a static IP address given for this line. Okay, can you all understand why this part is there, kids? Come on, yes or no in the diagram. First of all, this part, yes or no, kids? Because the company has an internet connection, right? Okay, great. And then the two rooms are the two LANs. So here you can see room 1 and room 2. And you can see here in each room I have mentioned what? In each room I have mentioned the IP address 192.168.1.0/26/25 is the IP address of what? Room number 1, because that is the network of the first subnet that we could figure out. And then the second subnet, we could figure out that it is starting off with 128. So you can see here it's 128/25. Can all of you understand why in rooms I have mentioned these network IP addresses, kids? Yes or no? Perfect. And also inside the room, inside each room, there are switches, because the scenario has clearly mentioned that there are switches, right? So switch, you can see two switches are there. And then in this switch, the server is connected. This is server 2. And the respective IP address is given for that, which is given already in the scenario. And then here, this is server 1. Server 1 has a specialty. What is that? There is a printer connected to that server. So the printer is also shown. You don't have to draw in 3D. I'm filling it again and again. But you can, just draw a small rectangle and name it that this is a printer. Can all of you understand this answer to the next networking question, kids? Come on, yes or no? Perfect. I thought of having, next time, not just a normal test. I even proposed this to you in the class. That is to have a live test, like a live test where you're going to turn on the cameras and keep it, but it's not going to be long like a normal test. But I want to give you at least like doing 2-3 questions with the live experience. That is better, right? I mean, like otherwise you don't get this feeling of doing a real test, right? I mean, you have never felt it ever, right? That's what. Because I'm pretty sure, when you're doing the exams, just, in a time system or whatever it is, if someone is not looking at you, especially like if there is no invigilator, you don't get that feeling of writing an examination. Agree with me or not? You need to have some invigilator, not your parents. Yeah, right? Perfect. Perfect. All right. So what's coming up next? So these are networking questions. So you all can understand this, right? Okay. What's coming up next is, logic circuit question, and also this one. This is also a really nice question. So we'll see what we're going to do. And this part is going to be again very important, only that is simple. There's small calculation or memory calculation as well, right? Before that, what we as usual, what we're going to do, right? What is it, kids? What are we going to do? Video. Exactly. Are you all ready to pay some respect for our sponsors? All right. Let's start off with IIT. It's a 3-minute video. Wow, it's a nice graduation ceremony. One day, if you're going to go there, then definitely you will be able to take this experience for sure. So you can see it, right? Wait. See the screen, yeah? Can you see a video? Can you hear the sound? Perfect.
Welcome to the graduation ceremony of University of Westminster 2020. First, I would like to thank you for being here today under trying conditions. You were not brought up only to excel in academics, but also in extracurricular and your careers, to be a well-rounded individual. That's what you did in your cutting edge, your stagecraft, and all those other things during the last 4 years while you were with IIT. Today is the pinnacle of that journey. We are here, more than 350 graduates receiving awarded today.
My name is Peter Bonfield and I'm the President and Vice Chancellor here at the University of Westminster. But the world out there is full of challenges. It's full of needs. It's full of needs for bright young people with great core values, with huge ambition, who will go out and solve the world's challenges. And you are brilliantly equipped and ready to do that task. So enjoy your day. And then tomorrow, think about how you will take all those skills, all those core values, all that unique personal strengths that each and every one of you has, and how you will deploy them to make a real positive difference to the world. Heartiest congratulations to you all. Go IIT, go Westminster.
Hi, my name is Devon Vijay Sinha and I just graduated as a software engineer from University of Westminster. So it all began from me joining IIT as a person who had no IT background at all. So I did chemistry for my A-levels and joined IIT without knowing any programming. So IIT had this curriculum set up where even a beginner like me could start from the basics and learn up and become a good programmer.
That was a nice video, right? I mean, yeah, right? Fine. I could see the students, like most of my previous students' faces in their graduation ceremony, obviously. Right, okay. So let's proceed with this one. Logic gates. Everyone ready, kids? Are you ready for the logic gates discussion, kids? Come on. Come on, everyone, the chat screen, please. Awesome. All right, here we go. A logic circuit has 4 binary inputs. Happy to know that. DCBA, that represents 16 values. Yeah, 0 to 15 has 16 values, no? Yes. The output F is true if the input on DCBA is divisible by 3, 8, 13 or 14. Will you be able to handle this mathematics here? Divisible by 3, 8, 13 or 14 without any remainders? I mean, 0 as a remainder? You can handle this level of mathematics, right? My goodness, Amhar. What are you trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me yes? Fine. Okay. Note that 0 is not divisible by any number. Wow. So you have to note that, they have explicitly given that you cannot divide 0 by any number. Fine. F is true means what, kids? F is going to be what, kids? F is true means what, kids? F is going to be what? F is going to be 1. Perfect. Right. Everyone focus like nothing. So let's see. Let's have a look at the truth table which is given. Okay. DCBA. Excuse me. Can someone write this as ABCD? Becoming some panditas and writing this as ABCD. Would that be correct, kids? Come on. Tell me. Definitely no. So if you have mentioned it as ABCD, you have get it wrong. Definitely yes. Okay. So you can see here D, C, B, A I have taken, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros, 8 zeros, 8 ones, and then 4 zeros, 4 ones likewise. This is fully completed. And then yes, 0 is not divisible by any, so they have a 0. And then this one is 0. Why? It's not divisible by 3 or 8 or those numbers. And yes, this is 1. Why is that? Divisible by what, kids? Come on, tell me. This is 1. Tell me. Why? Divisible by which number? Come on, tell me why this is 1. Divisible by which number? 3. Perfect. Because it's 3. Here, this represents 3. 2 to the power 0 is 1. 2 to the power 2 is 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. That's it. Others are absent. And the next number is what? 4. If I'm going to like write you in here the real number, that is the real decimal number, then you will understand it further. 0, 1, this represents 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. That's how it goes, okay? So we have number 3 here, so therefore it's 1. And then we have number 4, divisible by any of those things, kids. Come on, yes or no? The next one is number 4, divisible by any of those things, yes or no? Definitely that's a no. And then yes, 5 we have, not divisible. 6 we have, divisible by what, kids? Come on. Divisible by 3, so therefore we have 1 in here, okay? And then we have 7. 7 is not divisible by anything, so therefore 0. And then we have 8. 8 is divisible by 8. 8 was there in the list, so therefore yes, this is having 1. 9 is also there. 9 is divisible by what, kids? Come on. Just asking. 3, perfect. So we have 9, output is 1. And then 10, no. 11, no. 12, yes, because divisible by 3. 13, why is that? Because in the list 13 is also there, right, kids? Perfect. And how about 14? Why 14 is 1? Why 14 is 1? Tell me. Why 14 is 1? But the 14 is also there in the list. It's also there in the list, right? Fine. So therefore 14 is also there. Why then 15 is there, kids? It's divisible by 3. Very good. So you can understand this, the outputs, yeah? All of you can understand, right? Perfect. So then you have to consider the high outputs here, right? High outputs here. High outputs means the ones. If you consider the high outputs, if you consider the ones, usually what is the expression that we are going to take, kids? Come on, tell me. What expression? SOP expression. Very good. Sum of products expression. So let's see sum of products expression. Sum of products expression, which we can get from this, is this. And I very explicitly mentioned without F equals no marks. So even if you have written everything but not mentioned F, you won't be getting marks, right? By the way, how many of you got full marks for this so far? I mean, those who have done the paper, come on. Just asking. Wow. Kids got some talents, right? Fine. Okay. Then going to the next one. Then the next thing is what you have to do is you have to simplify this expression using corner maps. But I have not given any corner map. So shall we simplify this using corner maps here? Shall we give it a try and see how we are going to get this answer? Yeah. Perfect. So let's see how to work with the corner map. So in this case, I need to have a corner map with how many inputs, kids? Come on, please tell me. How many inputs are required for this corner map? Tell me. Yeah. How many inputs corner map? Tell me. Yeah. 4 inputs. Very good. Very good. Perfect. So that's going to be DC, BA. So I'm going to put DC on this side and then B on the other side. And then yes, have the 4 possibilities of each side, right? And then mention 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. There can be only 1 digit change in the consecutive cells when you mention like this. You all know this. This is D bar, C bar. Then I have D bar C. This is DC and DC bar. Okay, DC makes sense. B bar, A bar, B bar, A, BA, BA bar. Right. So I'm going to now start marking this. So I have D bar C bar BA, D bar C bar BA means this one, kids, having 1. D bar C BA bar, D bar C BA bar, 1. And then D C bar B bar A, D C bar B bar A. And then I have D C bar B bar A bar as well. D C bar B bar A bar, B bar A bar as well. And then I have DC B bar A bar, DC B bar A bar. Then I have DC B bar A. Then I have DC B A bar, DC B A bar, DC B A. All right. So I think I marked it correct if the marking scheme is correct. So here, let's see. I'm going to group this. First of all, I can see a very big group, but to proceed with that or not is completely my decision. So I'm going to just proceed with that and then mark this group. There is one group. Another group that I can see is these 4. 2 groups now. And then I can see another one. That is this one. And then also I can see this one. My goodness, my bad. I have to make 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. Yeah. So let's mention this one. Right. I don't think you can see the blue color, so I'm going to change it a little bit. What is the color that you see now, kids? Here? What is the color that you see? Purple or pink? Purple, right? Okay, fine. Go ahead. So how many babies, as we usually say? How many babies in here? Come on, tell me. 4 babies, right? Good. Okay. Now you have to name the babies. Are you all ready? Fine. So let's see. F equals. Tell me, first of all, white baby. Name for white baby. Come on, kids. Name for white baby. It's okay. Say it. Go ahead. Name for white baby. D B bar. Very good. I think our marking scheme needs some revisement. D B bar. And then plus. Name the green baby. Come on. What is it? Yeah. DC. Perfect. DC. Perfect. Name the red baby, kids. Come on. Name the red baby. CBA bar. Very good. C is common. BA bar. C is common to these 2 columns. BA bar is the row. So therefore, C, BA bar. Perfect. And then this one, what is it? Okay. Did we do any mistake? Because the marking scheme answer and this one is different. Shall we check this? Okay. I'm going back to my truth table and checking it against this one. D bar C bar BA. Have I marked it or not, kids? Come on, please tell me. D bar C bar BA. Have I marked it or not? D bar C bar BA. It's there, right? It's there, my goodness. Come on, let's do this. And then looking at my truth table. D bar C B A bar. D bar C B A bar. Have I marked it? D bar C B A bar. It's there, right? This one. Right, that is also there. And in the next one in the truth table, D C bar B bar A bar. D C bar B bar A bar. Is it there? D C bar B bar A bar. That's there, right? It's there as well. Right. And then, so shall we like? And then D C bar B bar A. Is it there? D C bar B bar A. That is also there, right? That is also there. Then DCB bar A bar. DCB bar A bar. That is there. DCB bar A bar. That's there, right? Then DCB bar A. DCB bar A. That is also there, right? And then DCB A bar. DCB A bar. DCB A bar. And also DCB A. So corner map is correct or wrong, kids? Our corner map is correct or wrong? Come on. Tell me. Correct. Then there is a small mistake in our marking scheme which you have to adjust it. So please mention, kids, in the marking scheme, right? This is the answer that we should get from this. My goodness. Small mistake in the marking scheme. So DB bar plus DC and then CBA bar plus D bar C bar BA. So you can mention it. If you have got this thing wrong, maybe you have mentioned this one and got your answer incorrect, you can now be happy. You can mark yourself correct and then give how many marks for that? 5 marks for that simplification. Wow. How many of you lose the marks for this answer and now happy that you got the marks? Come on. Perfect, kids. Awesome. So now you know what it is. Anyone who wants to write this down? Anyone who wants to write this down? Okay, can you take a screenshot quickly? Fine. Okay. Done. Then going for the next one. No, you don't have to simplify it further using lows because I have not mentioned to do so. Simplify the above expression using corner maps only. That's it. So you don't have to use lows. Even if you use lows, that's going to be incorrect. Can you understand, Sajitra? Right? Fine. Perfect. For the simplified expression, create a circuit using NAND gates. Now there is a problem. If this answer is wrong, then definitely the next answer is going to be wrong as well. Which means this is also wrong as well. So what we have to do is now for that simplified one, for this one, we have to design a logic circuit in NAND gates. So let's see how to do it. DB bar DC if equals DB bar DC plus CBA bar plus CBA bar plus D bar C bar BA. This is the expression, the simplified one. So in order to make this using totally NAND gates, we can use a very simple trick. That is what? We can put double bars, right, to the entire expression. And let's try to see NAND gates everywhere. So I'm going to put double bars, yellow bar, and a green bar. All right. So I'm pretty sure revision kids can remember what happens next. So you tell me which bar, what? Where? CBA bar. You mean this one? Okay. Thank you. Right. Okay. Right. My goodness. Fine. Am I correct now, kids? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I just had to write the same thing. Some mistakes. So here, which bar is getting solved first, kid? Is it going to be yellow one or the green one? Come on. Yellow or the green? Yellow one. Very good. So when the yellow one is going to get simplified, I'm going to have DB bar and a yellow bar, and this plus is going to become now what, kids? A dot. Very good. And this should be put within brackets now. And then yes, and the next one is I'm going to have DC. That's correct. And I'm going to have a yellow bar above that. This should be within brackets. And this plus is going to become what, kids? What, kids? A dot. Very good. Very good. And then I'm going to have the next CBA bar as well, right? But this should be within brackets. And then I'm going to have another bar. And this plus is going to become dot, kids. And then, yes, going to the next one, I have B bar, C bar, BA within brackets. And then having a bar above this, the plus already has become a dot. And then I'm going to have this, what, the final bar, which is right on top, as usual. Do you see any plus signs now? No, all you see is what? NAND gates. So you can see there is an NAND gate here, NAND gate here, NAND, that's it. All you see is NAND gates. I mean, can all of you understand this, kids? Come on, yes or no? I'm pretty sure you all can manage to draw this, right? Right. That's it. Very simple. Right? So using only NAND gates. Do you want me to draw this? Or can you manage to draw it? Tell me. What do you mean? Manage or you want me to do? Come on. Can manage. Can write? Yeah, okay, perfect. Right. Awesome. Great. Then, are you sure? Fine. Then, this is it. So anyone who wants to write this down, please write it down. Or take a snapshot. Let me know once you're done. Come on, kids. All right. Then, going to the next one. Oh, still the same place. Okay, that's it. And then, yeah, redesign the following logic circuit using only NAND gates. Okay. So this is the last one that we have discussed in this paper, right, kids? The last question, right? Yes or no? All right. Try to go to the last question discussion. Did we forget something? To watch somebody's video? Whose video is that? Achievers? Fine. How many of you like actually applied for the scholarships of Achievers? Come on, you should do that. Yeah, right? Very good. You're getting a chance. Fine. Perfect, kids. For CIMA and what? ACCA, right? Great. Let's see what they have to say for us today. Fine. Another small video, and then we can go ahead and finalize the discussion.
Hi everyone.
Can you hear?
Welcome again to Achievers. After your A-levels, are you expecting to do a business management bachelor's degree? So there is a very good opportunity for you. You can complete your degree within 1.5 years here at Achievers. So I would say this is the fastest route in Sri Lanka to complete UGC recognized and world recognized bachelor's degree. So this is a very good degree for you where you can complete within a very short span of time, like 1.5 years. Right after your A-levels, you can start this bachelor's program. So this program is well recognized all over the world. There is a good job demand also for this particular program. Here at Achievers, what we always believe is to provide the best service for the best price for our students. So by keeping this in our mind, we have created this particular program where you can complete the bachelor's degree in business management within 1.5 years for a very good price. So if you are expecting to do your higher studies after A-levels in Australia, you have a very good opportunity. So what you can do is you can do the first years of your bachelor or your diploma program here at Achievers, and you will get a direct entry for Australia Melbourne Polytechnic for the second and third years. So what's the benefit that you will be getting is, for the diploma program that you are doing here at Achievers, you will be getting a 20% exclusive scholarship. Apart from that, based on your academic performance and your GPA points, you can get further scholarship for the second year and third year of the Melbourne Polytechnic. So it's a guaranteed entry path for you. After your A-levels, if you are expecting to do your higher studies in Australia, if you are expecting to achieve your dreams, and if you are expecting to go to that particular country, this is a very good opportunity to you. So after A-levels, you can come to Achievers and you can join us and enjoy the benefits. As displayed on the screen, you will get the scholarship. And to get this scholarship, what you have to do? A very simple thing. So I want to tell you something. If you didn't do what I am telling right now, you will regret later. So take a piece of paper and write down this number, okay, which is displayed on the screen. What you have to do is simply send a WhatsApp message for this particular number. What you have to send is your name, your school, and the qualification that you want to do, and you have to send your teacher's name. So if you send these 4 details for this particular number, your scholarship will be reserved. So to reserve the scholarship as soon as possible.
Could you capture it? Could you capture this? Take an SS if you couldn't. Most importantly, always finally in the message. You know what it is, right? Don't forget to mention my name so that you'll be definitely getting it, right?
Send the WhatsApp message to this particular number. After that, later on, don't regret I couldn't take down the number. So not to have any regrets, please write down the number and send a WhatsApp message and reserve your scholarship. After your A-levels, you can come to Achievers and start your qualification. Then at last, I am wishing you all the very best for your upcoming A-level exams. So after your A-level exams, I am expecting to see you all here at Achievers. Thank you.
All right. Fine. Okay, kids. Shall we proceed then in finalizing our content today? Are you all ready, kids? Perfect. Okay. So, my dear superheroes, the next one. Redesign the following logic circuit using only NAND gates. I mean, how many gates are we have and what are those gates, kids? Come on. 2 AND gates. Perfect. So let me increase the thickness a little bit. And yeah, so one AND gate can be represented using how many NAND gates? You have to be very careful when drawing something like this, you know. I will show you why. Now, if you're going to draw it like this, let's see what's going to happen now. A, B, a NAND gate, and the output goes through another NAND gate. Come on. Does this represent an AND gate? Yes or no? Come on. Yes or no? Come on. Yes or no? Come on. Yeah, right. This represents one NAND gate. Why? It's NAND and then this is what gate? NOT gate. So NAND NOT means what? AND gate. Okay. So this is one part. And then this line C should again get connected to another NAND gate. So I'm connecting this to another NAND gate. And then this one again goes through another NOT gate. How many of you got the answer like this? Come on. Wow. Right. So this NAND gate is represented over here with 2 NAND gates. This NAND gate is represented over here with 2 NAND gates. Very simple. Going back to our marking scheme and let's see. Yes, this is the expected answer. It's there, kids. Can all of you understand this, kids? Come on, yes or no? Perfect. Going for the next one. Going for the next one. An embedded system uses 34 bits wide address bus to access its byte addressable main memory. Okay, 34 bits are there. Usually, what is the question that they ask in the past papers? I mean, we are familiar with this. Come on, tell me. How many bits are they asking in the past papers? Were they asking? Yeah, 32 bits. Very good. Yeah, 34 bits wide address bus this time. What is the maximum usable size of its main memory? Show your computations very clearly. So I'm going to go back to this marking scheme. So 34 bits are there. So address bus width is 34 bits. That's mentioned here. And the address space is going to be 2 to the power 34 kids. 2 to the power 34 bits. Then the maximum usable size of memory is going to be 2 to the power 30 multiplied by 2 to the power 4. You can write 2 to the power 34 as 2 to the power 30 multiplied by 2 to the power 4. Right, kids? Yes or no? Yes. Why is that? Because 2 to the power 30 is equals to what, kids? 2 to the power 30 is equals to what, kids? 1 GB. 1 GB. And then 2 to the power 4 is going to be what? 16. 16 multiplied by 1 GB is going to be what, kids? Here there's a small mistake. What is it? It should be 16 GB. Please make it in the marking scheme. Here it should be 16 GB. Definitely you must have got the answer correct if you have written 16 GB. The marking examiner is definitely intelligent enough to tackle this. Yeah, right? Those who have got it as 16 GB have got the marks, right, kids? Yes or no? Definitely yes. That's for sure. Right? Okay. Fine. Then, last question. Complete the following Python code to return the lowest value in the nums list. So there is a list, nums list. So what you have to do is, return the lowest number. Very simple. So find lowest nums. And the lowest number you assign it as nums list first number. So nums 0 is what? The lowest number. And then what you do is you go through the numbers of nums list. For num in nums, you go through the numbers. If you find a number which is lower than the lowest value, lowest is the first one. No? If you find a number which is lower than that lowest value, here num means what? Each and every value is assigned to num variable here, right? So if you find a value which is lower than the lowest variable, and then the lowest variable value is going to be that number. Likewise, this will iterate through the entire list, okay, and find out the lowest number and assign it to what? Lowest variable. Finally, this function is returning lowest variable value. Is it clear to your kids? Come on, tell me. Are you sure? Wow. Right. Anything else that we have discussed in the paper? Just asking. Anything else that we have discussed in the paper? No, right? Fine. Can you promise me something? Did you honestly study, first of all? Did you honestly study for this paper? You are very honest. Perfect. Some of them say yes, some of them say no. Can you do me a favor? My dear, especially 2021 kids, those who are in here. Think that upcoming mock examination is the last mock examination that you can write in your lovely ICT class. Don't you love this class, kids? Someone tell me. Don't you love this class? Yeah, right. So are you ready to prove how much you love it? Can you do that? Okay. Then let me propose you what you have to do. Put your entire effort and study. Entire effort and study. These few weeks. Because most probably at the beginning of next month, I'm going to give you live mock examination. So are you going to promise me that you're going to study these few weeks, kids? Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much, kids. So that's it. The free mock examination paper discussion session, which we had for 3 days, is officially over. Thanks to Achievers and IIT again for their sponsorships. That's why I could give this free to all of you. Bye-bye, kids. Have a nice day. Good night.